Alright, welcome back. So I just want to do a quick follow-up video on the SRM-2620 from Echo. This is on the Curbfind one that I found. What I was thinking about from the previous video, you obviously saw how I was struggling to get it started. Now, it was at the borderline of probably, let's just say, between 100 and 110 pounds. So, doing some more research on it, they did say that for Echo units, anything above 110 is good. I mean, it's going to be used, but it's still going to be good. But anything obviously below 100 is obviously bad. So with this unit, I was kind of thinking about it. And I'm like, I wonder if the plug is causing issues with it, because it was fouled out. I took out the plug just off camera, because I was thinking about it. So this is the original NGKR plug that was in it. You know, it was a little fouled out. Not necessarily horrible. I mean, it was getting sparked. Don't get me wrong, it was getting sparked. But I was just thinking about it, and I wondered, what if I just checked, because I have a parts bin of just random spark plugs that I can use, putting in a aftermarket plug. Now, I did find one that was very comparable to it. It was like, it came from a kit. I can't even tell what kit it was from, but literally it looked like this type of plug. It looked like an NGKR CMR7H. It looked exactly like this. The pitches was exactly the same. The only difference obviously is that it's not an NGK. It's an aftermarket. It's a Chinese brand. And you know what? Just for this video, I'll even take it out to show you. It's kind of hard. The only thing I don't like about this is the boot placement on it, because like you really don't have much to grasp. So you could twist and then yoink, but there you go. I was gonna use the pliers, but luckily got it off. So off camera, I did install it, and I went through the whole test procedure of actually starting it up. And actually, surprising to me, this has been sitting for about a day. I didn't do anything prior to this. I just let it sit overnight, and I was just kind of thinking about it and researching it and watching some videos. And I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe it is the plug. So this one is like an aftermarket one. You can see right here. It's a YXing type CMR5H. Whereas this one is a, obviously, NGKR CMR7H. But comparably looking at it, they're literally the exact same type of length. I know it doesn't show it, but they are the exact same type of length and size. So I wanted to basically, because I checked, I was like, oh, I wonder if I have a plug or even something similar or close to, just to try it out. And I went ahead and installed it, and now it literally fires up like an Echo should on literally like first couple pulls on choke, and it fired right up on run, and it stayed running. So my assumption is this had a well, not necessarily fouled it out, but it had a worn out plug. And that's probably why it was such a pain to start, because if you saw the previous video, it was such a pain to start this thing. I kept putting it, I even put fuel inside the cylinder, maybe thinking it's not getting spark, but then, you know, I was probably fouling out, if anything, or flooding it, more likely. But now, you can see, it'll actually just start and run. I think I had it warmed up. I wonder if it'll just fire up on run. actually, it's usually not that loud. I totally forgot yesterday evening. I went ahead and took off the muffler on it just to see if there was anything clogged with the screen, but this one actually didn't have a screen. I forgot to reinstall it, actually. That's why it's so loud. It's loud and it kind of runs. It smells like it's running rich, but it's really not. It doesn't have a muffler, obviously slow it down. So I took off the resistor. I totally forgot about the screen, but it didn't have a screen in it. It was just kind of the muffler portion of it. So I'll have to reinstall that currently, but I'll reinstall it and we'll see. I mean, I'll see if it'll still bog down. I don't think it should. It's just basically a screen that goes right on top. Show the footage here. You just got to line up the tabs. There would be a screen in here normally. I just don't know what happened to it. If the person didn't want to use it or took it out. I'm more or less just kind of like messing with it where I can see if it'll start. I thought maybe it had a restricted screen possibly. And I was going to clean it. But there is no screen in there. So not that I can notice. So let me just hand tighten these first. The muffler's kind of hot, so I'm being very careful here. Obviously, when working around heat, you know, you want to be careful. So it did run. Even just for that little bit of time, everything is still heated up. And I kind of had a feeling or a suspicion this thing would run. I mean, it would start, but it just wasn't consistent the starting. So I'm still not 100% convinced we're not at the borderline of compression issue. But it looks like it seems to be running. And if it runs, I may look for a cover for it. At least on, obviously, the intake side. The exhaust side, I mean, I could probably find one. But if I was going to fix this one up, I'd probably just leave the muffler side open and just be careful with it. That's pretty much it. Alright, I got one more bolt. These are 5 little hex bits. I had it mounted on a small screwdriver. And yeah, something so simple as a common plug could cause an issue where you're having issues with it starting and staying running. So you'd be losing spark, who knows? There probably could be like, it looks a little corroded on the sides, but I really just didn't think about it too much. So let me just tighten these down. We'll just do one more quick start of it on the run position. Let's see if it's hopefully not too loud. And then what I'll do here is just make sure it starts and runs. And these bolts are all individually the same length, so just more or less I'm tightening them. Is there a pattern for it? There probably is. I'm just going to tight for what I can see. I mean, my next step would have been, obviously, because if you don't have a screen type to look, is to pull the 2 exhaust muffler bolts and check the condition of the piston inside if it's really, really scored or bad. I mean, this one's seen its life. I mean, if this one stays running, that's a miracle in itself. But yeah, something so simple as a spark plug, it could cause an issue if it is worn out, or in this case with the old one, you can see that little bit of corrosion there could have caused something. I mean, it's not necessarily dirty, but there could be an issue with it. It could be just worn out just from use. So yeah, now it should be a little bit quieter. We'll see if it runs, or if it runs worse or better, because the exhaust is pretty much open, so it was straight just coming out. So try it out now. A little quieter. what I'll do is I'll let it sit. I'm going to let it sit for a few more days now, not just one day. And I'm going to come back to it in a couple days. I just have a little bit of fresh fuel in it and whatnot. And I'll see if it'll start and run. I mean, if it starts and runs, I have no problem getting a... It just basically needs a filter, a cover with the 2 bolts here. And then I could see about pricing out the other side where it's just kind of like a black cover for it. I mean, it's more or less safety. Nobody's going to be playing around with this. And then seeing about a head, if anything, because it looks like that was probably the issue. That was probably most likely the issue with it. It didn't have 150 PSI compression, but it was still where it's not completely worn out. So, yeah, something I mean, obviously I've never really run across this, but then again, I never really worked on the Echo X line, so I really don't know or necessarily see everything. So yeah, this one might be a good repair as long as it starts up in the next couple of days. If it doesn't start up in the next couple of days or it gives me issues starting, I'll go ahead and I'll pull the muffler, and then I can always just do a follow-up video. But it looks like everything's good for now. I'll kind of leave it as is, and yeah. This one seemed to be not as bad as struggling like the previous video. So, I mean, I did eventually get it running, but it had to have been the plug. That was my guess, and I just didn't think about it, to be honest with you. So sometimes you gotta, if you think one day and it's not working out, just sit on it, think about it. I find that sometimes the next day I think a little bit more clear because I've had time to just sit on whatever the issue is and then come back to it. So yeah, it's a good life lesson, you know. Don't jump to conclusions sometimes. I know sometimes I'm really quick to replace these. I mean, even if I didn't have the plug, you know, the NGK number is right here on the side, the NGKR number. So it tells you actually which plug to use for it, so, and which ones are compatible. So yeah, I just got lucky. I had a Chinese one, so the Chinese plug seemed to fit. Is it the best option? Probably not in the long term, but just for testing and whatnot, it's good because I knew that plug, it's a brand new plug. I knew it wasn't going to have any issues, So yeah. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. Tell me about all your different repairs or things you're working on. I know as time's progressing, I'm getting things here and there or finding things here and there. So yeah. Hope you guys liked the video. Quick video. Hopefully helps somebody. And yeah, I'll catch you guys out on the next one. Take it easy and have a great day.